Hey friend, welcome to the Self-Care Isn't Selfish podcast. I'm your host, Emily Nichols. As a Whole30 certified coach, wife, busy working boy mom, and your self-care guru, I'm here to help you start putting yourself first without the guilt. Each week you'll hear motivating and practical tips on how you can create a habit of self-care through interviews with my amazing guests or quick solo episodes with me. After each episode, you'll walk away with an action plan and feel empowered to implement what you have learned into your life. So grab a cup of coffee, glass of wine, or your favorite sparkling water, and let's do this. You're listening to episode 14 of the Self-Care Isn't Selfish podcast. This self-care quickie tip is all about being uncomfortable. So let's get comfortable with being uncomfortable. What does that mean? Well, this episode was really inspired by the half marathon I just ran yesterday. It was the Indy Monumental half and full marathon. I would never do a full marathon. I'm not that crazy. But I actually set a PR, which is a personal record, by 5 minutes and finally broke the 2-hour barrier and came in at an hour 59 and 15 seconds. And it was something I've always wanted to do and have had in the back of my mind, but really always thought I wouldn't be able to do it. So let me give you a little background on my training for this race and how uncomfortable it was. So I've mentioned before having an accountability partner, and my husband's been my accountability partner for my training for this race. Usually I just go out and just run a bunch of miles, pounding the pavement and adding more and more on up until I do a half marathon. And usually I die around mile 9 or 10. Well, my husband has really upped his game with running in the past couple years. He actually ran his first marathon, qualified for the Boston Marathon, and has really been strategic with his training. So he made out a plan for me for the Indy Monumental half marathon. We called it the Oops, Emily's running the Monumental in 5 or 6 weeks procrastination plan. But every Tuesday, he included some type of speed or tempo workout where, you know, for example, it was different every week, but my last one, you would run really fast and get progressively faster each mile for 4 miles. Or he would have me run fast for a quarter mile, recover for a quarter mile, run really fast and recover. And after my first speed workout, I told him, I was like, babe, that sucks. I hate it. I do not like these speed and tempo workouts. And, you know, he explained to me, yeah, he's like, they do suck. He goes, I hate them too. He goes, but the whole purpose of them is to get you comfortable with being uncomfortable. Those short little bursts of running your little heart out will really pay off when you're running those 13.1 miles. And so I took his word for it. A few of my girlfriends joined me on my speed workouts, which was really motivating as well. And it went really, really well. So come to race day this week, and I've been, as you can tell from my voice, I've been fighting a cold all week. I traveled to San Francisco last weekend for work, took a red eye back home, and then had a birthday party at my house for my 8-year-old son, Tyler. So I was really in my head this week, just being like, I'm just going to go out and do it and have fun. Let's just see what happens. So during the race, I said a little prayer at the start line, just, you know, please God, keep me safe, keep my mind right, because I knew negativity could have creeped in really easily. So about mile 3 or 4, I was running a lot faster than what I anticipated, and I wasn't dying. So it was really building up a lot of confidence in myself those first few miles, and in my mind thinking, I can do this. You know, this is uncomfortable, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay. I know I can do hard things, and I've ran faster than this in my speed workouts that I had been doing leading up to my procrastination training plan. So I'm pushing myself, and my husband paced the 1 hour 35 group because, like I said, he's really fast. And he came back and met me like the last mile and a half and ran me in, just really encouraging me. And it's so funny. He videoed me finishing, and I was pushing with all of my heart. I was like, I will be darned if I come in at 2 hours when I'm this close. So like I said, I came in at hour 59 15 seconds, but I felt like I was running so hard, which felt really, really hard for me. In the video he took of me, I look like I'm moving in slow motion. Oh, it just cracked me up. But, you know, it was a wonderful moment. I had tears. I was just like, heck yes, I finally did it. I had a lot of texts coming in from my girlfriends during the race encouraging me along the way, and a lot of other friends running the race with me too. And it was just a really wonderful moment where, you know, you went through that journey of being uncomfortable and knowing that you can do hard things. Now, will you always hit your goal while you're being uncomfortable? No, not necessarily, but it's all about the journey. So there are lots of other times in my life where I have felt really uncomfortable. Most recently, I left my job of the last 9 years, something that I really loved and thought I would retire from, but things change and people change and I've changed, and I left for a new organization, which was really, really scary and stepping outside of my comfort zone, and it's been the most wonderful experience ever. Becoming a Whole30 certified coach was really freaking scary. I mean, the testing and certification process in itself was really, really scary, and putting myself out there and wondering, okay, is anyone actually even going to want to work with me, was really scary. You know, starting this podcast was super uncomfortable. I've had this on my heart for over a year, and I'm like, who's going to listen to this? Like my mom, and like forcing my husband to listen to it. But I've had over 2,000 downloads in just the past couple of months. And I don't even know if that's a lot, but I'm really grateful for everyone listening. And, you know, I feel like I've grown just in these short 14 episodes that I've done. And I know I'm going to continue to grow. And I'll probably listen back to some of these and cringe and be like, ooh, that was really uncomfortable. But it's all just part of the journey. You know, another thing that was really uncomfortable for me was starting to run 2 years ago. It's something I've never really enjoyed doing, but it was something I wanted to get better at. And I joined a group of women who were running, and I kind of knew some of them. Some of them had taken my classes before. And I just thought, oh, I'm going to go for it. And I've met some of my best friends. Running certainly is a journey. If you've been following me on Instagram, you saw a lot of my training runs, and I always hashtagged it. Hashtag I love hate running, because that's how I feel. I have a love-hate relationship with it. But stepping outside of my comfort zone really led me to finding a community of women who support me and were just as excited for me hitting under 2 hours yesterday as, you know, my husband was, and they were as proud as me, or if not more, as I was proud of myself. So, you know, stepping outside of your comfort zone and being able to find a community like that is something that's kind of scary sometimes. And one way you can get uncomfortable is coming to live events. So myself and my friend Jen Elliott of Jen Elliott Wellness, she's a nutrition and mindset coach. We're hosting our next live Love Yourself Self-Care Series event this Wednesday, the 13th of November from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at She Would Know here in Brownsburg, Indiana, in my neck of the woods. And this self-care live event is all focused on creativity. We'll be making a very fun little clipboard that we'll be able to clip your own self-care routine on, and Jen and I will be discussing how to make your own self-care checklist, have some time to, you know, meet some other people, which I know can be really scary and uncomfortable at times, but, you know, step out of your comfort zone. That's what we're talking about. I'll include a link in the show notes if you'd like to grab a ticket and bring a friend, or if you don't have anyone that wants to come with you that's interested and you just want to come, I guarantee it, there's going to be a lot of friendly faces there that will welcome you with open arms. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Like I said, I've been fighting a cold all week, probably running in the super cold weather yesterday for 2 hours didn't help, but I hope you can learn from this that it's okay to be uncomfortable, and know that it's just part of your journey, and being uncomfortable a lot of times leads to growth. So thanks again for listening. I hope you would take the opportunity to leave a rating and review here on iTunes and take a screenshot of you listening today. Tag me at Emily Nichols22 or at Self-Care Isn't Selfish Podcast. So let's get uncomfortable. Thanks again for listening, and remember, self-care isn't selfish.